All right, y'all. As promised, episode 2 coming up. The guys are going to dive into their own personal diaries to share some unique perspectives about some ways they plan to move forward, doing things a little different. Stay tuned.
If there's somewhere that you don't want your child to end up, and we say, okay, parent this way, and there's no way they'll end up that way.
Look, there is no handbook of parenting. Stop that bullshit
okay,
right there.
Okay, so that's my point. That's my point. You say, I want to be a superstar dad. What if going out there to set that?
But that's just to my point. You can't. It's enough pressure in itself to be a dad.
Yeah.
Stop putting that pressure on yourself. As my man Twin said, be present in the moment. That's all your kids want. Be present. Know that they can see you or they can hear you and you can hear them.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of dads don't understand, and they take for granted.
And what I'm telling you is, what I'm asking you is, could that recipe be fucked up?
It can be, but it depends on how you blend that shit.
No, I mean nobody has given me the perfect example.
But there is that's
just
it's
fuck the perfect example. Give me a baseline.
I say this.
Give me the baseline example.
Is to me as a man, it's like if you have your principles, right? Your principles, how you live as a person, right? Two things I always say as a man: you have your name and your word, right? If you say what you're gonna do and you stand by what you're gonna do when they fuck up, eventually, whether however they bump their head, they're gonna be like, Dad, you was right. I see what you was meaning. A lot of times now, you have as a man or as a father or dad or however you want, we have so many distractions as well that makes it harder for us nowadays. We have other different dynamics as well that plays a part into us being fathers or dads and everything else.
I see. We got our producer over there waving her damn hand again. But hey, we're gonna close it out because she's keeping us on track. But shit. So yeah, shake that shit off a little bit, y'all. Get your shot of your drink a little bit. So you can take a little edge off that heavy conversation. I appreciate y'all digging in a little bit. I know that this is a different type of conversation, a different way to look at it, and we had to do a little talking to get to that perspective. So first of all, I appreciate y'all coming down to chat with me. I just really wanted to have a real conversation with some real men that I knew who are currently in the same fight, who is raising kids, raising adults, making fathers' decisions. So to that, I want to do two things. First of all, I want to pop a bottle and toast to you, gentlemen, for being here where you are today, being the fathers that you are today, being in the place where you're still making decisions and becoming a better father or a better father. I sound like a goddamn crackhead. But I just really appreciate, you guys diving deep, sharing some of your personal emotions. This is about the diary, and this is about leaving a legacy of information for fathers to come the next generation and really look at our lives and some of the key decisions we had to make and pass that information on.
Dear Dad, I think for me, learning, having an ambition not to perpetuate on my kids what was perpetuated on me, I think, and where I'm at in life now, I think I perpetuated something different on them that's not so good at either. I didn't want to be who my father was to me, but was it at a place of self-gratification or more than just wanting to be a real dad? And I think now, where I'm at in life, that's a question that you have to ask yourself, because I went through life feeling rejection, abandonment, feeling unsafe, and then I wanted to make sure that wasn't transferred to my kids, right? But then honestly, was it for me to try to capture something that I didn't get, but now I'm giving it, but also I'm being selfish about the gratification I'm getting out of it. Mm-hmm. Because the main thing of it is, I never wanted my kids to feel hurt. Mm-hmm. So that's what I would write in my diary.
So what you're saying is, I think you now are looking at the relationship and the things that you need to do to manage the relationship between you and your father. You're not looking at that as a man, like solving those problems from an experienced man perspective instead of that hurt boy.
Exactly.
I got you. Exactly. Yeah, I feel you. Terrell?
Dear Diary, writing into you to let you know that now as a father, I do understand. I guess you can say I take that back. I still really don't understand because there are now that the subject is at hand. There are some. It made me, dear diary. It made me realize that I have unanswered questions, and so. But on the flip side of that, as a father, it made me even more conscious of how I move as a father, and it also made me think about what I didn't have younger, as far as like when my son was 5, how he had me showing up to every football game, every soccer game, or whatever sport he played. So it's also making me dig deep within myself to have some type of understanding of why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
I hope I wasn't all over the place.
Oh no. You were right on.
Okay.
You were right on, and what I really loved about your answer is you going back to be vulnerable, right? Because we'll lie. Because see, you a great father. I know that. I've been around you.
Since
I've watched it
babies.
since they were babies, and your relationship, your situation, the things that y'all sorting through was not easy. And I've seen you get on those flights and drive, so it was easy for you to lie there. Because you could have lied and said, yeah, I got it. I got a couple things I got to go work on. Instead of going back and saying, damn, it just made me realize I got more questions than actual answers. And that's really what we're talking about is, are you really going back asking questions now that you're older, mature, and you're a grown person now?
I would say, dear diary, as a black man in this world, we'll talk to put everything on our shoulders and not be vulnerable, right? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it somewhat can be a disadvantage to the kids, because if you so tough and you so like you can't get vulnerable with them, you can lose them. So it's like, that whole thing of telling them you love them. You know what I'm saying? Kissing, like showing that affection with sons just as much you do with your daughters, because boys need it as well. It seems to always be the responsibility of the mothers to get them that. You know what I'm saying? And
I just recently started that. I forgot to kiss my boys.
Yeah. And my the 19-year-old, like I always say, like that dude's my strength. You know what I'm saying? But
why?
More so because I was married to his mom, and it was rough. It was a rough marriage, but I just knew that, like, regardless of what, I always know, like, I wish my dad, whichever one it was, would have fought. You know what I'm saying? Like, put up with that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, to me, I always look at it like, if you make your fucking bed, you lay in it.
Yeah, man.
If you gonna lay down with that chick and you gonna have a kid with her, you deal with that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at least to the kid, and that's what I did. Until my son got to a certain age where he knew who the hell I was. He knew who to ask for me. He knew how to call me. He knew how to, like, because his mom would threaten me, but like she would move across the country and all this shit.
Yeah.
So until he like got to an age that he wouldn't let her, where my daddy at?
Yeah.
I hung in there.
Yeah, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like hanging, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a fight, but it's like, yeah, but You gotta hang because you the one who chose to lay down with her.
That's right.
And I think a lot of times, like a lot of dudes run from it. But like, hey, if you decide to lay down with her and you impregnate her, have a baby with her, but now you want to you taking I guess you are deadbeat. You know what I'm saying? That's to me, that's what life is about. Is learning from your
diaries.
It's diaries. It's learning from the mistake I wouldn't say it was a mistake. Is when you do something, how do you handle that situation?
Yeah. And not only how you handle it, but every day you got a new opportunity to get better.
That's it. You get two C's. Better. 2 C's every day you wake up.
Yeah.
Chance and a choice.
Chance and a choice.
Oh, that's tough.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
2 C's every day you wake up.
Every day.
Yeah.
Big dog. Well, what's popping? Let's talk to the diary, man. You done been through a couple things. Got some babies in the world.
Yes,
got a baby on its way.
Yes,
beautiful marriage.
My boy.
Now we riding a little bit better. So what are you gonna tell the diary though?
Dear diary, I want my kids to know I did the best that I could with the hand I was dealt, and I'm gonna give you. I'm all in on my family, top to bottom. Secondly is I want my daughters to know that you're worth more than anybody could ever give you. So you should not accept less.
So here's the final shot. All right. And the closeout shot. Dear diary, I hear you. Like to my kids, I hear you. And I think the places that I've made the most pivotal mistakes in my kids' life is not hearing them. The problem with the way I've learned to love, I learned from a protective state. When I was old enough to understand things, everybody I loved needed protecting. My mom, my sisters, our family was just under attack, so I understood protection, and I thought that was the only thing. And now, as they get older and I realize where I'm failing in some critical spots that would have redefined opportunities, not that I was right or wrong, it's just there was critical points they needed me to be their father. And their father has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with what they need and what their expectations are at that time. So, dear diary, I really understand that I have a responsibility to be my kids' father instead of parenting my kids. Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, that was episode 1, part 2, where the men opened up, got vulnerable, and shared their truths. Now it's time for us to hear from the women. Stay tuned for episode 2, when we bring mothers to the camera to pull back the curtain to share their raw perspectives on men leaving their family and their children. Stay tuned.